Good afternoon, brethren. This is Big Judah, coming to you guys from Southern California. Before I begin, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I also want to give praises to our earthly mother, the Holy Spirit. Pray that they bless this lesson today and that we get some understanding. I'm going to make a quick video today because I'm going to make a longer video later on. And I need to kind of establish some foundation here before we get to the next video. I got my other Bible here again. And today, this is actually in Second Esdras chapter 15. Let me see if I can go to the other picture here. There we go. This is Second Esdras chapter 15. And again, as you can see, we have precepts again right here. Okay. And over here as well. So what we're going to concentrate today is on the Hebrews. And, I've been getting a lot of people talking about how, you're not the Hebrews. Anybody can be a Hebrew. Most High, Jesus came and died for everybody, so everyone's accepted and things like that. Of course, we're just going to run to Paul and twist that again, even though in the last video I showed you with proof, again, from the Bible, from the precepts, that Paul was talking to Hebrews. But that's okay. I don't expect everyone to agree. We're not all going to agree because we have a lot of emotion going on. A lot of people with their own vain opinions. Okay. But again, now we're going to show you again something that comes from the New Testament that was actually referring back to Second Esdras. That, of course, the Gentiles hid again. I don't hear anyone actually saying something about that. I just keep hearing that Paul says this and Paul says that, and we're all adopted in. Okay. This is telling you that what's coming on the earth is based on the way the Hebrews have been treated. You have to go into the Old Testament, which most people don't want to do, to find out who the Hebrews are, because there's curses that are put on these people, and that's how you tell who they are. It's not just if you accept Jesus Christ, you get to skip all these curses. These curses came on these people, and they were going to be on them, and that's how you tell who is who today. But let's go ahead and let's look at some scriptures first. We're going to look at this one right here. Matthew chapter 7, 1 and 2. Oh my goodness, look at this again. Chapter 15 of Second Esdras. So when you read Matthew chapter 7, verses 1 and 2, we can get the context as to what was going on here. And it wasn't just, hey, you can't judge. That's not what it was talking about. And when you don't have, when people take out precepts, that's exactly what they can do. Take everything out of context, add up their own opinions, and that's exactly what's happened. Let me read Matthew chapter 7, verses 1 and 2 first, and then we'll get the context as to what he was talking about. Judge not, that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye mete, it shall be measured to you again. Now you go to the churches today and they talk about how you can't judge, and they always run to this. Judge not. Judge not. That's not what it was talking about. Okay? There's going to be judging coming in this world. That's already coming. But let's read actually what that comes from. If you look here, right here, Matthew chapter 7, verses 1 and 2, and here's the little O right there for verse 21. Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense in their bosom. Thus saith the Lord. So whatever you do to his chosen people, that's what's going to happen to you. Now, it makes sense to me that you might want to know who the chosen people are before you sit there and quickly just say, oh, no, it's not you. It's not you. It's not you. This is the Old Testament. This is Esdras. So, of course, it's still talking about the Hebrews back then. It wasn't talking about the church. It was talking about the Hebrews that he chose. Those are still his people. They're going to be his people forever. And how the other nations treat these people, is how they're going to be treated. And that's talked about all over the scriptures. But also, if you look down below the Matthew 7 and 1, it's also referencing Revelations 18, 5, 6, and 8. So let's read that as well. Because, John here in Revelations is referring back to Second Esdras. Okay, let me go there real quick. Revelations 18, chapter 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Skip to 6 here. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. And then skip to 8, it says, Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine. And she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord God who judgeth her. Now, this isn't talking about the church being persecuted. If you go back now to 2nd Ezra chapter 15, it's talking about what you've done to the chosen seed, his chosen people. Okay? That's what it's talking about. Okay? Now, you got to get everything in context. So when you're looking at Matthew 7 and Revelations, it's talking about a group of people that have treated the Most High's chosen people horribly. And that group of people is going to be utterly wasted. That's what it's talking about. Okay, now if you people want to come in and just have that replacement theology and say it's the church and everything else, I mean, hey, you're welcome to do whatever it is that you want. Okay, but that's not what it's talking about. And I'm showing you a Bible here that actually has the precepts that actually explains what it's talking about. Now it's talking about the plagues, and they're in Revelations 18, and let's see, let me read Revelations 18 and 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord God who judgeth her. Now let's get back over here to, let me see here, the start of 15. Okay, right here. Behold, saith the Most High, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And that is a reference to Deuteronomy 28 and 59. That is showing you that the plagues that we have been under are now moving to the world for what they've done to his chosen people. Okay? And it says, For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore saith the Most High, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continuously. And if you look at the top there, that is now referring you to Revelations chapter 6, verse 10. Let's go there, because of course, we want to hear people, Christians, oh, it's because the church is being persecuted. There's all these Christians that are being persecuted and being killed. That's not what this is referring to. This is referring to the Hebrews who have been killed. The innocent and righteous blood crieth, okay, unto me. And let's get that. Revelations chapter 6, verse 10. And let's go. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them, okay, that dwell on the earth? And white robes were 11, and white robes were given unto every one of them. And it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren, other Hebrews, that should be killed as they were, should be fulfilled. Okay, so if it's all referring back to the Old Testament, it's referring back to something in Esdras, it's talking about Hebrews. It's not talking about the church. Okay, and it also says it's referencing 19 and 2. So let's read that too. Revelation chapter 19, verse 2. For true and righteous are his judgments, for he hath judged the great whore, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication, and hath avenged the blood of his servants at her hand. So that is referring back to 2nd Ezra chapter 15, okay, verse 8. So I want to make sure I get this groundwork laid here, okay? Now, it's talking about how, the Hebrews were going to go back into Egypt again with ships. That is in Deuteronomy 28, 68. Let's just kind of go over a couple little things really quick. Most of the brethren already know these scriptures, but some of the other nations don't. And they always want to twist it and tell us what it says. I mean, I don't quite get that, but okay. They seem to think that they have, well, because they've had authority for so long, they seem to think that they still have authority and they can tell us what the scriptures mean. But of course, they rarely ever go to them. You know, it's always Paul, twist Paul, that's it. Nothing else. Deuteronomy 28, 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. And Egypt means the house of bondage. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Okay, now these curses have been on the Hebrews. It was actually in the book of Daniel when this was actually sent out. Okay, so that's why the Hebrews have gone in and out of captivity the entire time. And what I want to read here is real quick is Deuteronomy 28 and 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So once these curses get poured out on us, on the Hebrews, they're going to be a sign so you can tell who the real Hebrews are forever. They're going to be at the bottom of the barrel, the tail. They're going to have all these. They're not going to get any justice. They're not going to get any recompense. And that's what was already preordained. And let me show you exactly where these curses were poured out on the Hebrews. Daniel chapter 9. Let's go there. Verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, this Deuteronomy 28, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. So from the time of the Babylonian captivity all the way till today, because it says these curses are going to be on them, on this seed line forever. That's how you tell who the Hebrews are. I've showed you plenty of scripture. Now I've also shown you where you got precepts in here that are talking about what's going to happen to the people who treat them wrong. And I'm not saying it's not just one group of people. I've never said it's just one group of people. I don't dictate who gets what, who's who. I don't know. Okay, and I'm not saying that this person can't make it, this person is going to make it. I don't know. Okay, that's up to the Most High. The Most High knows. He knows who everybody is. He keeps track of everything. Okay, now what this is telling you is that the way you treat the Hebrews, that's the way you're going to be treated. Okay, now this, when you understand now that the Hebrews are going to go into slavery in ships, into the house of bondage again with ships, and there's plenty of other curses that actually in Deuteronomy 28, it shows you, gives you more and more information. Then it explains what's happening here in 2nd Ezra chapter 15. Let me see here. Let's see if I can get over here. Oh, I want to read about the stuff that's going to be coming on the earth, about the plagues upon the world, because the plagues that were on us are now going to be going to the other nations. And it says, I will hold my tongue no more as touching, it's talking about the other nations and what they've done to us, to the Hebrews, their wickedness, which they have profanely commit. I'm reading 8, but let me go ahead and skip down to 2nd Ezra 15. Let me start at 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, their bondage. That's what it's talking about. We're going to be in bondage because they're going to be scattered to the four corners of the earth. So they were going to be in bondage. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So Egypt is going to be destroyed again. The house of bondage, the people that have the Hebrews in chains, again, is going to be destroyed again. This is what it's talking about. Okay? Let's continue with verse 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and the one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords, and with swords in their hand. That's chapter 15. Now, if you look at chapter 15, verses 14 and 15, those are references to Matthew chapter 8 verse 7, and Matthew 24, 6 and 7. So Matthew's pulling from 2nd Esdras here again as well. Okay, let me continue with verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not abide. For because of the pride of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with a sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. That is Luke 21, 16 and 17. Let me get that. Let me read that real quick. So Luke is pulling from this as well. Luke chapter 21, verses 16 and 17. And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolk and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. Okay? Now, like you keep on going, behold, saith the Most High, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me. Okay? Which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Libanus, to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them. Again, things that they have done to the chosen. And then go to 21. We'll continue. Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense in their bosom. Thus saith the Most High. Okay? And let me see here. Let's go skip down to 15. Let's go at 25. 2nd Esdras 15, we'll start at 25. I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power. Defile not my sanctuary. For the Lord knoweth all them that sin against him, and therefore delivereth he them unto death and destruction. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. For God shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him. All right? And that is actually talking about 2 Peter 2, 9, and 10, verse 26 down this way. So let me get that. 2 Peter 2, chapter 9, and 10. Okay, hold on quick here. The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. But chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness and despise government. Presumptuous are they, self-willed. They are not afraid to speak evil of dignities. Okay, so when you're reading all these different things in the New Testament and you take away all these precepts again, now it's open to say whatever it is that you want to say. Now, I'm not here to get anybody to agree. Only people that can agree are the people who have the Spirit or the seed put in them. Okay, I don't convert anyone. If the Most High has put a seed in you, then this will make sense to you. If he did not put a seed in you to understand this, it's not going to make sense to you. You know, he chooses who gets this information. You know, I just, all I can do is present the information, and then it just goes from there. If people, most people are not going to agree. That's what the Most High said. He said most people are not going to agree. You know, Yahushua said that, you know, the people are not going to agree. They're not going to see it, but that's okay. You know, and in this truth, we have to accept that and understand that. But I'm praying that some people will see these kinds of things and have their eyes open as to what is going on. You know, I'm going to leave with this. Let's go to Genesis chapter 15, verse 13 and 14. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And what we're coming into now is verse 14. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance. That there, especially at 14, goes right here with this verse 21, the second Esdras, Matthew 7, 1 and 2, and Revelations. As the things you've done to his chosen is going to happen to you. The plagues, or the curses that we were under, is going to switch to the other nations. And the next video is going to talk about, how this relates to Gentiles, because they have their place in this as well. Okay, and it's not the way they think it is. Okay, and I'm going to make a video on that, but I wanted to make sure I kind of got this solidified first, as far as like how you treat the Hebrews is how you're going to be treated. If you treat them right, maybe the Most High will have favor on you. If you don't treat them right, you don't acknowledge who they are. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who. That's what I hear all the time. It doesn't matter. We're all God's chosen people. That's not true. You can believe that. That's fine. The scriptures do not support that. I have heard some people say, well, other people have gone into slavery too. This is true. This is true. But the problem that you guys don't understand, people don't seem to understand, is this: the Most High only cares about what happens to his chosen people. That's it. If you don't agree, that's fine. That's your opinion. But I'm going to read here Zechariah chapter 2, verse 8. For thus saith the Most High of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations, which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. Let's go to 9. For behold, I will shake mine hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants, and ye shall know that the Lord of hosts hath sent me. Okay. Let's go to 10 too. Sing and rejoice, O daughter of Zion, for lo, I come, and I will dwell in the midst of thee, saith the Most High. So he cares about his people, what's happened to his people, and how they've been treated wrong. I have been hearing some things that's been pretty funny about how, well, Israel's gone off of whoring, and that's why, we all have a chance now. I was like, okay, well, that was already preordained that was going to happen, that Israel was going to fall off, and that the Most High would actually bring them back. And I'll read that from Isaiah chapter 54, verse 8. In a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith the Lord, thy Redeemer. So yeah, Israel went off, and Israel paid for that. But don't sit there and think that the other nations have been great and have been following the ways of the Most High. We at least tried. The other nations, they came in, made their own religion, follow all their own holidays, so the laws are done away with, and have just done whatever they wanted. So I guess then that's what Yahushua came and died for. Jesus came and died so you can just do whatever it is that you want. And that's pretty much what you're saying. Okay? Let me read this one. This is going to be the last one for sure. Okay? Here we go. Isaiah 51, 22 and 23. Thus saith thy Lord, the Lord, and thy God, that pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again. But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground, and as the street to them that went over. Our people have been at the bottom. The Most High is coming back to rectify that. There is hope for some of the Gentiles, and that's what my next video is going to be concerning. Okay? But I want to make sure we get this. The way that you treat the Hebrews, okay, is a blessing or a curse to the other nations. And we're going to get into that. It's going to be a lot longer video. The next one, I just want to make a quick one here so you guys can see the precepts that goes along with this with this book here, Second Esdras. I hope this video was edifying. Hope you guys have a great day. Shalom.